There we are, live. Nobody knows yet. It's just you and me, the people watching the recording. It takes a couple seconds. Hi, I'm Uncle Birch. And yeah, I'm a witch. I think you know that. You must be a subscriber. You wouldn't know that I was on. It's Saturday. Lovely Saturday afternoon in Hollywood. It's a work day for me, so I'm taking a break from orders. Hello, Steve Gunner. First person to say anything. Got a few people in there already. Man, people are quick. I'm never on YouTube when I get one of those notifications that somebody went live. Maybe I didn't set up my notifications. I don't know. But I am Uncle Birch. Hello, Sherry Young. I teach witchcraft, amongst, in addition to being a witch, I teach witchcraft. Hello, Robert. And I've been doing this random thing because I've got a whole bunch of classes coming up in the next couple of weeks. I got some, I'm working on doing some live classes. That's still in the works. I think I figured the software I want to use for that. Hello, Julia. Sent emails regarding a tarot card reading. Hey, Sherry, can you send me an email at witchschool@gmail.com? That's witchschool@gmail.com. And if you did, I haven't checked it in a couple days, but my shop email box is a fucking nightmare. It is a Hotmail account. Hello, Stone Witch. It is a Hotmail account. It's very old. It's almost as bad as having an AOL account, but as such, it's a nightmare. And I'm very backlogged digging through spam and finding stuff that I actually need to. So if you need to get a hold of me for reading, witchschool@gmail.com. That's witchschool@witchschool.com. So yeah, so I'm getting ready to be a teaching fool. I'm doing this year and a day course again, which I haven't done in years, because I found a way to have somebody else handle the billing, and I just teach witchcraft and interact with students, and that's what I want to do. That's my job. I don't want to be a billing department. So I'm getting ready to start that at the end of the month. And you can find that course. It's called Witch School Level 1 at gumroad.com/witchschool. WITCHSKEWL. Or you can contact me at the email witchschool, WITCHSKEWL @gmail.com about that course. That's filling up, and it'll probably be full really soon. So if that interests you, get on that. I'm posting a video about that after I finish doing this. So y'all been helping me get ready. Not that I have much to get ready for it, because I'm always teaching witchcraft, but I'm be teaching like a madman. So I've been doing this thing, teaching like a madman at random on YouTube. I've done it on Facebook, several other places. You can find my Uncle Birch. You can find me on Facebook as Uncle Birch. So I've been doing this thing, and I think this is 7. Yes, Ask Uncle Birch 7. And the way it works, in case you're new to the game, first person who gets a question in there, and I see it, that's the question I'm going to answer. And please try not to ask me a question while I'm answering a question. Sometimes I'll look at it and it'll throw me off. But the questions only remain for a couple seconds, so if you don't get it in when I'm looking and waiting for a question, that's why it's a game. So you can ask me almost anything about magic, about witchcraft, hoodoo. You can ask me about Palo, but I might not answer most of it. Probably won't. Who knows? But ask Uncle Birch. I'll bet I got answers, and when I don't, I'll tell you I don't fucking know. I am looking. Somebody's typing something. I can feel it out there. How many people we got? It's an audience on a Saturday. I've done this on random days, done this at random times. I have not done a night broadcast yet. Is banishing really necessary to do every day? Valerian. Banishing, cleansing, I see cleansing every day. Maybe you need a banishing, but you know, if you cleanse all the time, then you usually don't need a banishing. But yeah, cleansing is a banishing. But if you're unfamiliar with my channel, you need to watch the video When You Banish, You Must Invoke. It's something a lot of people miss. It's something that some workers out there, a lot of workers out there know and don't tell you. Because if you got to go to a worker to get a cleansing and they don't put anything back after they cleansed out the bad stuff, and usually a couple weeks or so, all of it comes back. All of it comes right back, almost exactly like it was. Nature abhors a vacuum, and if you fail to fill that hole you made by banishing stuff, she'll put it back. And if you're an unscrupulous worker and I just cost you a bunch of money, well, that's your fault. You know, do good things. You know, there are people coming to you for help. Help them. You know, yeah, get paid, sure. You know, nobody should work for free, but people keep people locked in a perpetual cycle of needing to come see them. You know, when I remove a curse, I put something there, or I instruct the client. Okay, after I do this, you know, do a money spell. Here's the instructions for the money spell. Or do a habit. You take bad stuff out of your life. You take you know, poverty out of your life and put wealth in. You know, you gotta put something in. But yes, cleansing, constant cleansing in the morning, cleansing in the evening. There's a lot of shit that's gonna get on you throughout your day. More so depending on what you do during the day. Maybe you work at night too, I don't know. But you know, throughout your day, whenever it is, you know, at the beginning of it, I do some cleansing and then invoking good stuff. You know, a morning ritual, cleanse the bad stuff. Might have got through your protections at night, and then invoke a good day. Invoke a, you know, happiness, prosperity, whatever you want to have in your work day or whatever you got. And then at night, you know, at night we're going to cleanse away all the bad stuff that got on us during the day. We're going to put good stuff in its place. You know, good dreams. Maybe dream of the winning lottery number. And remember that that's my answer to that question. Ask Uncle Birch. What you got? I shave. Typing. I saw people asking stuff, but again, if you ask me a question while I'm answering a question, I'll get lost. So I purposely look away out of respect to the person's question. I have a question regarding witchcraft, magic kind of thing. Do I recommend that one follow voodoo and get scratched? Wow. Jason? Okay, I got to remember who asked what, so, you know, one person doesn't get too many questions. Well, Jason, that's an interesting and loaded question. I do not know of voodoo having a scratch in the ritual. Palo Mayombe, Palo Monte, Palo Cambisa, there's another one. Yeah. There's another Palo, I'm sure, out there. But in all those, the initiation ritual is called being scratched. And it is a blood pact with an entity, shall we say, a prenda. Kind of like an Orisha. Matter of fact, Palo has a prenda for every Orisha. Pretty much doing all the same things, having all of the same attributes, having all of the same likes, having all of the same dislikes as its equivalent Orisha. I am scratched to Madre de Agua. That would be Yemaya in Orisha traditions. But they are not considered the same, but they, you know, you look at them, they're pretty much the same. And in that ritual, there are certain things cut into your skin and things placed, so you're making a hole, things placed in that hole, herbs and other things associated with the pact, shall we say, a blood pact. From what I understand, there are a lot of similarities between those ideas. It gets more painful. Denise, your first scratch arts are small incisions. I shouldn't even say small. The patterns are not complicated. Upon priesthood, tata, yaya, very complicated patterns are carved into your skin, and I've really said way too much with that. But you do not know voodoo having scratch or referring to that as scratch. I never hear scratched in Yoruba, in Ifa, in Ocha, in Santeria. I don't hear that term. But the similarities in all of these ATRs cannot be overstated. They come out of Africa with certain ideas, and those things change depending on where they land. And in Haiti, and then the Haitian voodoo that comes over to New Orleans, that changes a lot too. In Cuba, you got Palo, and you got Ocha, Ifa, Santeria, which are all pretty much the same thing, just different names for them, as I understand it. I'm not initiated into those traditions. So the traditions change, but then that core with the orishas and what they do, and the Palo equivalents to those orishas, those stay fixed. There's just different names for them, and actually I found that a lot of the rituals and sacrifices remain the same, even if you're dealing with an orisha or a prenda that's equivalent to that orisha, as I've seen so far. But do I think it's important? I don't know a whole lot about voodoo. I just know these traditions that it's connected to, and I know they're using the orishas too, as a white man with very little bit of African blood. These are African traditions, and out of respect, because I'm an Italian witch, respect is important. Out of respect to those traditions, I follow the rules. Even though I am an anarchist witch, I follow those rules. I went through the proper initiation rituals and the things leading up to those initiation rituals, adhered to the admonishments of my tata, and I don't go around teaching it, writing books, though that's not out of the question. I am a tata. In those, who knows what I will decide to do. But when I was initiated first into that tradition, we received a lucero. It's like an elegua. Very similar looking. It's this concrete thing with cowrie shell eyes, nose, mouth, very much like elegua. Mine is in a conch shell, because I'm scratched in Madre de Agua. I believe that's why that is. And mine has 9 eyes. And my wife, who's initiated with me, hers had 2 eyes. And I asked Tata, I said, so whoa. My lucero, man, he's got 9 eyes. What's up with that? And he says, well, that's because of who you are. All eyes on you. And a lot of eyes will be on you, watching what you do. So tread carefully. I will not show you my lucero. And oh yeah, so I would suggest if you're gonna dabble in other people's traditions, go through the initiation process. Especially in those traditions, like you don't know shit. That came up several times during my initiation. They said, "What is your name?" I had a blade betwixt my teeth, and I said my name, and they said, "No, you don't know shit. Your name is this. What do you know?" No, you don't know shit. Somebody asked, and it would be the question. try not to look. I don't know who it was, but somebody asked me what led me to get involved in Garden of Blood and Bones and Palo, 2 good books, probably the only good books out there. Tata Oriate has a couple good books on Palo. You buy through Amazon. I definitely recommend him. What made me get involved in Palo was the question, so I'll get to that. I had no interest in Palo. I had a student who was a dabbler. You know, one day he's ceremonial, one day he's devoted to Hecate, one day he's into hoodoo, one day he's into Palo. And he would just come and talk ears off about this stuff, and I was a busy man, and you know, my bad. As his priest, I probably should have paid more attention. I did not. I was uninterested. I heard him talk about so many random flighty, just so bullying all over the place. I lost interest. It's like, I'm over here, you know, working. I'm brewing shit at my shop right here while you're talking my ear off, a thing that you want to flitter off and fucking go stunts. I was not interested. He had gone into Palo and got scratched. He even showed me the mark, which you're not supposed to do. I took no note of it. It didn't exist in my consciousness. I didn't know Palo from a stick, which Palo means stick. I did not listen to him. I was not interested in whatever he was talking about. He was very butthurt when I got into Palo because he wanted to be my Polero. Oh shit! Is that stuff you were talking about? I was knee deep in it by the time I realized, oh that's that. Oh shit! Yeah, he was trying to tell me, but oh shit! So he's still butthurt to this day. Hates me to this day. He's actually checked me using Palo. It's just silly, and I did not retaliate in that because I didn't have to. But at any rate, there's this way TMI, way TMI. My wife was interested in it. A long time, and a Manonso happened to pop up in Santa Cruz Mountains. Manonso is a Palo house, and she wanted to go check that out. I said, all right, well, I'll go with you. It was weird. Normally, you don't get to do that in Palo. There is no Manonso that's just going to let, you know, somebody that's not even interested in it accompany to it, but they did. I did. I saw some stuff. Some crazy stuff. Some things I liked, some things I didn't like. A particular time in Santa Cruz, I'm a very public witch. I don't know if you noticed, I'm quite an opinionated bastard, and I will not stop to piss somebody off if I believe what I'm saying. And I do that. And I did that in Santa Cruz. I was the most public witch in the town. I was referred to as the official witch of Santa Cruz in much press over there. And there was another witch store that didn't like me. And we're doing nasty things, right? And then anybody that I had a falling out with went over to that the Wicca, the witchcraft I was brought up in, did address that in many ways, not adequate for me. The Palo that I fell into was the Palo of war. Whole Palo of war, and a whole lot of very warlike Poleros out there. Unfortunately, this particular one was just all about war. Happened to find myself in the midst of this witch war, and I needed something to address that, and here I was looking at that, and and I watched it, and I felt what I felt, experienced in the Manonso. What I say to this day, it was the most paganism I'd ever seen, and they would not be referred to as pagans. They would want to be lumped in with the rest of y'all that are. But it was down in the dirt, and the mud, and the blood. It's typically done on the floor. in a basement if you got it. you know, in the dirt, dirty. But it's like, it's just so entrenched in nature and nature deities and nature worship and the construction of nature. It was more pagan than any of the paganism I'd ever seen. I got more dirt on me there, worshiping nature in a typical uncle or typical thing. Somebody out there asking for help. If you need some help, you need to get in contact with me at witchschool@gmail.com. That's witchskewl@gmail.com. It's my best email address. That's not cluttered like my other ones. And maybe I can help. We'll see. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I can talk you through it. Sometimes I do work for clients. Sometime prior to conducting a ritual involving manipulation of someone. It occurs to me I did not finish this. So at any rate, eventually had a falling out with that Munanso. That Munanso did not have the credentials I needed anyways for me to excel. Aligning ourselves with a different Tata and a different Munanso, and went ladder as it were. And that's part of me now, Palo. So there was somebody with a really complicated question there, and it didn't stay on the screen long enough for me to even read it all. So maybe you can try and get your question again if that was you. Something about ESP I saw. Went away. We're asking Uncle Birch. Great questions so far. Clearly stuff I had a lot to say, a lot to talk about, as usual. Alright, somebody's typing up a long question. If I missed your question, maybe you can copy paste it, I don't know. Thoughts on hitting a wall? Hitting a wall there. Well, magic follows a path of least resistance, so around that obstacle. To say that a lot of people don't get, you know, when you're planning a spell, a ritual, or working, when you're planning a working, the working starts to happen during the planning phase. There's energy going out as you're writing your spell down, formalizing your statement of intent. You're going out into the world and collecting for that spell. All of that energy is part of the spell. All of that energy is manifestation. Sometimes you can see the spell start to manifest before you cast it. You still need to cast it. Seeing things pop up as you're leading up to that spell, pop up before you, walls, barriers, that's great. You know, before you got there, that's great, because now you need to add into your spell a way around that, a way under that. So, you know, maybe some road opening work. Look up, and lucky for you, it popped up before you were casting. This pop up after you threw it. You know, then the spell hits a wall there. So you're in optimal territory right now. I don't know how long you got before, but get cracking on that. No, Denise, it's not all about intent. No, I don't know. Hopefully, I didn't say anything that led you to that. I've heard that said too many times. I'm a witch. They are oft not mystical who at all. They're rather scientific at times. Does not care if you intend to fall when you walked off the cliff. You'll die. And that is action, reaction, effect. It simply is. Nature cares not what you intend. It's important in this, but it doesn't. It's not a catch-all. People say all that matters is your intentions. No, not all that matters. Nature does not care about your intentions. Your intentions need to be reflected in the things that you put together, in the statement of intent. Oh my God, that's, you take my talking about statement of intent in class 1, because it's that damn important. Formulating your intent to be unwavering, written in a 4-beat stanza of rhymes with no negatives. Getting all worked up just thinking about it. But yeah, that's where intent to play, is you're putting your intent into these magical items. Like, I'm working out the language. That's my intent. That's how I get my intent perfect, as I work out the statement of intent that I wrote for that spell. Cannot be taken any other way than the way I and will not manifest any other way than the way I stated it. Then it is perfect. I saw a few other questions up there that I did not read. If you can, try not to ask me one right then. I've been waiting to practice witchcraft again. Get in the mood. What do I do? I don't know. The moon. Get out. Get some moon. Get some ocean if you got it. A river, a lake. Get out in some nature. Let some nature get on you. Oh, that puts me in the mood. The ancients always said, my ancestors in the witchcraft is heard on the wind and seen in the wild. Heard on the wind, there's a lot to what that means. There's a lot of meaning, but sometimes ideas just float into your head and they come from other people. Yeah, and you pick them up. But seen subconsciously, nature moves that affect our magical mind, a magical response. This is why so much is happening in nature. So much paganism is, focused on nature, talking about the laws of nature and the laws of physics, laws of psychology as well. Nature moves in these patterns that we don't usually, but they trigger something subconscious. Go for a hike, man. Get you some nature. Take 5 nature next time I'm on. Tell me if that worked. Just send me an email or something. Maybe you'll get in the mood. Class. Get on there. Take that. Witch School Level 1. Gumroad.com/witchschool. WITCHSKEWL. Time is running out to sign up. I gotta put my hand here, see how many people we got. Okay. Still a decent crowd. I saw other people ask questions when I was answering the question. Well, I don't know. Maybe everybody got their question answered. I'm just going to sit here and stare at you all day. I guess if there are no more questions. We'll see. So, thank you all for helping me get ready. I've been doing this random Uncle Birch thing, and having not taught in the format that I'm getting ready to use in a couple of years, turns out I didn't, so that's cool. Turns out I didn't get rusty, so that's cool. So I've been doing this random thing and just getting questions out of left field. So that stuff that I hadn't thought about before, because this is what I do. I'm a one-trick pony with a large bag of tricks. I'm always shut about witches who actually sacrifice animals. Well, I don't know a witchcraft that comes up in. There are a lot of witchcrafts that are not Wicca anymore, or these days. There is sacrifice. Done it Never liked it. Never liked it. And if I liked it, you know, killing animals, no, that's part of the sacrifice. But what I see in the, we're gonna have to wait because I gotta answer this one because one of those big bags is something. A couple people, got people asking questions while I'm answering them. So I can't. I don't go around judging other people's traditions that I have that perform sacrifice. I see roosters, chickens. I've seen some people do a goat. And if you're vegan, sure, bitch about it. Or if you're vegetarian, sure, be appalled about that. But if you ain't, then you need STFU and STFU and sit the fuck down. Wait, STFU and STFD. If you eat animals and you're not killing them yourself, they are most likely raised in inhumane ways, and even the best ways that we have to handle livestock, deplorable. So I do eat animals. I ain't gonna judge them. I know all of the animals that I eat are free and free range, and yeah, all that. All right, so a couple other questions there. If you ask me a question when I'm answering another question, I try not to look. And your questions only remain on the screen for brief. If you want to copy and paste your question back in there or type it really quickly, probably got a couple more. We're doing Ask Uncle Birch, Volume 7. I've done this on my Facebook page, Uncle Birch. On my other Facebook page, Unity of Wicca and Witchcraft. Where else? And then YouTube, and I like the numbers better. And then you know, on my personal Facebook page, done it there too. But you know, those are the same people I tend to be interacting with most of the time, anyway. So these, I see a lot of unfamiliar names here and people that I haven't seen in a long time. So I like the numbers on Facebook. So it's looking like. Look like people have gotten their questions answered. So I'm going to see if we got one more question. We'll take it. Anybody else gets another one in there quickly, maybe I can take that too. But other stuff I got to do, and I got another video that I got to upload. And my kid's probably on the Xbox using up all my bandwidth. So bandwidth is money. So thank you for coming to Ask Uncle Birch. If I see another question, I'll go ahead and answer it. But you can find me at thesacredgrovestore.com. If you order any of my brews, be prepared to wait a while. So I got to take the orders, and I got to brew them, magically timing them, which could take like a month sometimes, depending on what you order and more. And they're made by these hands. So I do not have the brick and mortar anymore. We're all working with myself. I probably need to hire some people, but I just, you know, I don't know what aspects of the job I would entrust at this stage of the game. So if you do order anything from thesacredgrovestore.com, please be patient and tell me if you're in a hurry. There are things that I can't move you up in the line, but I custom make everything and I magically time everything. I do not keep back oils, brews, baths, even candles, most candles. I make them for you. Gumroad.com/witchschool. That's Witchskewl. That's Gumroad, like gum on your shoe. Birch, good day. Random question. Somebody's in a psych ward, convinced that they are possessed by energy. Hey, you know what? A lot of times they are. And spirit hosting and mental illness. Another person asked, well, you have related questions. Maybe you guys can talk. A lot of times that's what's happening, unfortunately. People do get possessed. People do get influenced by spirits at a time of mental weakness. Sometimes there are traditions where they invite them in and hopefully they leave when they're supposed to leave. But yeah, some people are possessed. It does happen. A show on the pirate station that I founded back in Santa Cruz, Freak Radio Santa Cruz, called Wingnut Theater. And I'd walk around with a tape recorder and just kind of lurk around near homeless people themselves, just the really crazy ones, and were prophetic. Oftentimes they were answering questions that I had only asked in my mind. Oftentimes they spoke directly from God. In the midst of a whole bunch of gibberish, it'd be like one sentence that was significant. It was like, I became convinced that some are kind of like an 8-track tape used to be. All the tracks exist, but if you jump from track to track, you end up in the midst of this track. You jump over here, you end up in the midst of this track. And these tracks, if you allow them to just go, let the tape run, the tracks sync up. And they have a flow to them. But if you jump from place to place, you just pick up random ones. And I don't really know if the Wingnut Theater analogy for them syncing up was the best one, but there were just random lines in their rants that sometimes were that. So if you need to find out about stuff like that, you go to my channel, find out how to remove a curse, cleansing with fire and air, and many other things. Scroll through. There's so much shit I've taught over the years. All handy stuff. You're on my channel now. Might as well do something while you're here. Thanks for coming to Ask Uncle Birch, Volume 7. Thank you for joining us.